Hey guys, ladyLibertyStacker here. It is Saturday, July 7th, 2018. I'm back for another video. This is showing you my most interesting sales for the month of June, with one here in May. I had a really good month in June. Every month that I've been doing this since January has improved with my sales and average price per sale, etc. Now I'm a little slower in July, but I expected that with the summer slowdown. Everybody warned me. So far, though, I've averaged one sale a day. For a new seller, I'll take that. But at any rate, had some interesting sales. I sold over 50 items in June. And these are 12 in June plus one interesting one in May. So without further ado, what you're looking at here is the one that sold in May. Let me adjust the camera so you can see it better. This is a men's 100% washable silk shirt. I bought this back in January, new with tags at Salvation Army. I noticed when prepping it, there was a small brown stain in the front there. It's hard to see on the photos, but I'll go ahead and go through these photos so you guys can see the different pictures of the shirt. Let's do it this way. And I'll just kind of pull them up this way. There's the extra buttons at the bottom, and there's a pocket. And here, that's the area that was affected. I tried to remove the stain, and in so doing, took off some of the dye. So I said to myself, I can't sell this. So I offered it to my husband. He said, yeah, he would wear it. But actually, he didn't mess around with it. So by the time May rolled around, I said, you know what? Are you going to use this shirt or not? And he said, yeah. I said, you know what? I'm going to list it. So I listed it, pointed out the defects, took a picture of the defect, and didn't try to portray it for what it was not. And it sold for almost my full asking. I think it sold for my asking price plus shipping. And the guy gave me a good feedback, and he said it was better than what he expected. So you can sell things with defects even when they're new. You already have the money invested and the time invested. You might as well try to get what you can get. So anyway, there's that. The next item is a football jersey. This one was Ohio State, number 7. When I was washing it, I noticed some strange things on the 7. And I tried to point it out on the conditions, and I did so, but still got $29.03 plus shipping for this item. I paid, I think, $2 or $3 for it at the thrift store, so a nice flip there. Next, this was a catcher's mitt, baseball glove, almost more of a professional one. This is Rawlings, and they're typically cost brand new for the latest models anywhere from $200 to $500. Now this one was in a neighborhood garage sale. The guy wanted $3 for it, and it felt quality to me. Cowhide leather, etc. So I took it, put it up for $54.99, took a best offer of $45 after the guy messaged me, and so far so good. I always put my asking price a little bit more than what I'm willing to accept. That way, if a decent offer comes in, I'll go ahead and accept it because, you know, something's worth what somebody's willing to pay, but you don't get unless you ask. So I do put the prices a little bit up there so I get decent offers. So there's that. Next up is, this one was a throw. Got this at the local Goodwill. No, it wasn't Goodwill. It was another thrift store. I was there for over an hour looking for things. I couldn't find a thing. I went through all the sections looking for things that usually sell well. Finally decided to go back to the blankets and throws, and found something that looked vaguely familiar with the colors of red, white, and blue. Found that it was an Indians with Chief Wahoo throw blanket, very big, 77 by 55, as you can see in my title. I thought for $2.99 is what they were charging. It wasn't on sale. It was just what they were charging. I took it, went home, washed it, lint rolled it, and I actually steamed it, and things I thought were permanent ripples in the fleece actually came out when I steamed it. So guys, if you're doing apparel or blankets or anything like that, invest in a steamer. It will make your stuff look a lot better, and you can ask more for it. But anyway, I paid $3 for this, and I got $69.99, $70 actually, plus shipping. And that was a really nice find. Another nice find about it was it's a beater lac, made in the USA. It's vintage. It's also Major League Baseball merchandise. So those two things really help. Beater lac is a good brand, but I put it up with sports apparel and that kind of thing. So that was the category on that one. But that was a really nice flip. Next up is a Reed & Barton silver plated bowl. Reed & Barton, gorgeous, gorgeous enamel on the interior. I did polish this with silver polishing cream. It came out gorgeous. I had a price of $69.99, took a best offer of $50. It took a while for the guy to pay. I couldn't believe it. eBay actually opened an unpaid item case, and well, he did pay, but I've never heard a word from the buyer on this. I assume everything's okay. It was delivered, already delivered, and anyway, but still making $50. I paid $5. I'll take that all the time. If I would have waited, I might have gotten more, but some of the comps were lower, so I thought, you know what? Make hay while the sun shines. Next up is a pair of Prope, I think that's how you pronounce that, washable Walker women's canvas walking shoes, size 8.5 2E, which is extra wide. Sometimes it's great for these unusual sizes. They tend to do really well. And these were gorgeous shoes, like a greenish, aqua, blue, yellow, white. But I had a price of $44.99 on them, and they had just been listed. I took an offer of $38 plus shipping. Sometimes when you give the buyer a deal and you accept their offer, they're going to be happier with the item when they get it. They feel like they didn't overpay, and they're not going to be looking for a reason to return it to you. There's a lot of psychological things that go into selling online, and sometimes you just get a feel for it after a while. Just little things from experience. This is one of those. I could have held out, but I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and take the offer, and so far so well. We'll see. Next item up is a tea caddy from Bombay Company. I think they're still in business. I don't know, but this is from 1999, and it was a mahogany, gorgeous box, gorgeous interior, and I did clean out a little bit of the interior, but it wasn't that pretty when I picked it up. It looked a little dusty and dirty and dingy. Brought it home, put a little Murphy's oil soap on it, shined it up really nice. Murphy's oil soap is great for wood products and wood, and if you guys, clean wood in your homes, Murphy's oil soap did this one justice. Look at that. Just beautiful. And this is what it looked like on the other side. Cleaned that up as well. And had the foot pads on there. Just a nice thing. I paid $5 for it. Got full price of $39.99 plus shipping. Here, $11.90 shipping, but based on where the buyer was, I think they paid like $23 shipping because they were more at a distance. So, at any rate, that was a nice flip. Next up is go back to the main picture, a Holy Bible, King James Version, vintage, zippered with the cross. And these vintage Bibles, you can get anywhere from $25 to $35 for them. I just sold one in July, which I'll show you next month. I got 33 shipped, but it was a nice Bible. This one, it was up in its second month. Sold it, but paid probably $2 at the thrift store. I don't pay that much for these. Take a bunch of pictures. It was, vintage, but not really used. The title page was empty. No markings on the inside. And that's what I look for when I look at Bibles. They need to be in pretty good shape. Sometimes they'll sell if there's maybe a name or something written on the title page. The one this month that sold had somebody's name written on the title page. They don't care as long as it's in good shape. And the vintage ones sell very, very well. I've sold also Bibles anywhere from $10 to $20. But they're cheaper than if the person were to go to a bookstore and buy it brand new. So I look for them constantly. They're a good flip, and they're a good way to get it into somebody's hands, cheaper than they could get on full retail. Next up is a walking cane. Picked this up at a neighborhood all-city garage sale back in May, and had to find a way to ship it because I needed a large, skinny box, but you can get them from USPS.com online. But this was a great walking stick with a nice copper baseball at the top. And I had no idea what to charge for it. The walking sticks online go from anywhere from $25 all the way up to $800, $900, depending on what's on top. But this one, I thought, with the solid wood, it had solid construction. I asked $75, took a best offer of $60 plus shipping. So $2 turned into $60 plus shipping. I'll take that all the way to the bank every day of the week. But yeah, that was a nice sale. I didn't have to do much to it other than take pictures and list it. So there we go. Next up is a Goodyear advertising hat. Everybody knows Goodyear is located in Akron, Ohio. It was basically an advertising hat, and there's different angles of it. You can see there. I take a bunch of different angles of these things close up there. I take of the other side. I had a little mesh net for, to breathe when you're wearing it. Made in Sri Lanka. I even include measurements in my item, so on and so forth. But yeah, it wasn't brand new, but it was very good shape. Paid 30 cents for it at a flea market earlier in June. It sold in a couple of weeks. Had a watcher almost right away, so those are sweet. Advertising hats do real well. Who would have thought? Next up is, if you guys remember this from my state sale haul last October, it's a 3-legged bean kettle with a gate mark. This was made in the late 1800s, and I stripped it and I reseasoned it. And it's been up on eBay now for, gosh, it's hard. I don't remember what my price was before. I had somebody buy it. And I had lowered the price down to, I don't know, it was like $80-some or best offer. Somebody offered me $71 plus shipping. And I took it. Then he messaged me how big was the inside. And it does say in my description how big it is from here to here. It was like 10.5 inches. He must not have read it. But I measured it again just to make sure. And he said, oh, that's too big for my needs. Can you please cancel? Sorry. And so I canceled it because I didn't want to have to deal with the return. Easier to cancel and pay the 30-cent PayPal fee because they do keep their share. But I thought if I have to relist it, I will put it up for hire. So I put it up for $100 plus shipping. Got somebody messaging me for would I take 100 shipped, and I said sure. I have to redo the listing. So I redid the listing, and I said hang on till I redo the listing. I'll include free shipping. You've got 24 hours to buy it. If somebody else beat you to the punch, oh well. If you don't buy it in 24 hours, it goes back to the way it was. I kind of told him that very nicely. And son of a gun, he bought it right away. And $100 shipped. I sent it out that day. It was good to go, and I got glowing feedback from him. He loved it, and it was quick shipping. And that's the way to make buyers happy, is to get things out to him right away. But yeah, that took a while to sell. Good product, but not everybody is going to need a bean kettle. I certainly wouldn't use it. I don't use it, but I know people like to camp. They like to do the outdoor thing. This is perfect for that. So I found the right buyer for that. Next up is a snow globe. San Francisco Music Box Company played a tune I didn't recognize. Happy 50th anniversary. So I picked it up thinking somebody would need a gift. Picked it up in January, paid $1.61 for it. And had it at price about $35. It didn't move. I probably could have left it at $35, but I try to move these things, so I dropped the price down to eventually $26.94, and I ended up taking a best offer of $19 plus shipping. Shipping for this individual, I think, was like $16, $17. And to make a long story short, it was delivered to the wrong address. Buyer notified me. I contacted their post office. The buyer contacted the post office, And to make a long story short, the neighbor that had received the package in error returned it and they redelivered it, but the box had been crushed. But luckily, this globe was okay. Now, I sent it priority, so it's covered for up to $100 priority because I am a top-rated seller. Don't get the badge because I don't do free returns, but you do get insurance up to $100 on priority mail. But the whole point here, she wanted this as a gift for somebody's 50th wedding anniversary. You didn't want to have to claim insurance on this. So I double packed it, and she sent me a note after she got it and said all was well. Thankfully, I was so careful in packaging it. The globe was working, everything was great, but the outer box was crushed. I don't know, I didn't see a picture of it, but that's why I double box these. You can see one, you don't want to lose one like this. They're almost full to the top, they're clear water, the glitter doesn't stick to the sides, the font down below is intact and looks new. This was just probably the most beautiful snow globe I've sold to date. I've sold a number of them, but that's why I double box them. But yeah, it was still a nice profit for me. 35 shipped, 36 shipped. I paid $1.61 for it. So, and the customer was very happy. And finally, last up, I have a tie, new with tags. It's a long one, 61 inches long. That's what long means, anything over 60 inches, 100% silk, new with tags. And this is an unusual tie. I mean, most people don't want long ties, but it was up. What was unusual about this, the person made me an offer of 26. And I was about ready to accept it because it was a fair offer. I wanted to get one last sale in for June. And before I could accept the offer, the guy paid full price and paid and got my payment. Got a notification to please ship out. As it turns out, he got a coupon from eBay of 15% that it'd be applicable for anything, I think, over $25. Well, you know what? He got his coupon and it brought his price down to, I think, the same or even less than what he would have offered me originally. So he won and I won and eBay paid the fee. eBay pays out of their pocket for those coupons. The sellers don't. So this sold for $29.05 plus $3.50 shipping. I sent it right away. It was like a Friday night. I sent it the next day, Saturday. I don't really have to send it out until Monday, but I try to do it when possible because the buyer is just so happy when they get it right away. Anyway, so that's what I sold in June. My most interesting sales. I had a bunch of others. I'm not going to bore you to death with those. But yeah, I'll do this again. Show you my most interesting sales and the stories that go behind them. And anyway, if you like this video, please give me a thumb up. Feel free to leave a comment below. I appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks, and go make it a great day.